Dad, everything in life is so hard. I want to give up all the time.
Son, come here to my side. Today, I want to talk to you about something that will accompany you throughout your life and is essential for facing the challenges that the world throws our way: resilience. I know that sometimes life feels overwhelming, with situations that knock you down or make you wonder if you can really keep going. But you know what? Everyone goes through this. What makes the difference is how we react when difficulties arise. Resilience is precisely that: the ability to get back up after falling, to adapt to changes, and to keep moving forward, even when the path seems tough. It doesn't mean being unshakable or never feeling pain. On the contrary, being resilient means acknowledging the pain, feeling the weight of difficulties, but at the same time finding the strength to move on. There's a story that has always deeply impacted me, the story of Job in the Bible. You've heard it, right? Job was a man who had everything: family, wealth, health. But suddenly, he lost it all. He was left with nothing: no health, no friends. Anyone in his place would have given up because the pain was too great. But what did Job do? He remained steadfast, even without understanding why all of this was happening. He believed that somehow things would work out, and that he had to keep his faith. In the end, he was rewarded. Job's story teaches us that no matter how difficult things may become, resilience, the ability to not give up, to keep hope alive, is what helps us overcome the darkest moments. You see, son, life is like that. It will throw some punches at you, place obstacles in your path, and sometimes it will seem like everything is crumbling. But that's where resilience comes in. And it's not something we're born with, you know? Resilience is built, one step at a time, every time you face a difficult situation and choose not to give up. I really like a quote from Nelson Mandela that says, "I never lose. I either win or I learn." And that's very true. When you develop resilience, you start to see challenges differently. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to think, "What can I learn from this?" Each difficulty brings a lesson. And when you approach things this way, you start to realize that even when everything seems hard, there's always something to be gained that can strengthen you. Remember that time you were training for that tournament and ended up losing early on? I saw how frustrated you were. You had trained so hard, put in so much effort, and suddenly it felt like all that work was for nothing. But I also remember telling you that that moment wasn't the end, but the beginning of something new. You learned from that loss, adjusted what you needed to improve, and the next time you came back much stronger. That's resilience in action. It wasn't the loss that defined you, but what you did afterward. One thing that helps a lot in building resilience is remembering that difficulties are temporary. When we're in the midst of a complicated situation, it feels like it will never end, that moment of pain or frustration will last forever. But the truth is, it doesn't last. Time passes, things change, and we move on. When you keep this in mind, you can face challenges with a bit more calmness, knowing that further down the road, everything can resolve in ways you never imagined. Another important point is to understand that being resilient doesn't mean being invulnerable or not feeling anything. Everyone feels sadness, fear, frustration, even those who seem strongest on the outside. The secret of resilience is how you handle those emotions. It's not about ignoring them, it's about accepting them, learning from them, and then moving forward. It's okay to cry when something goes wrong. It's okay to feel down sometimes. But what you can't let happen is to allow those emotions to stop you from trying again. Remember Thomas Edison? He tried over 1,000 times to create the light bulb before succeeding. Imagine if he had given up on the first or 10th attempt. He once said, "I didn't fail. I just discovered 10,000 ways that don't work." That's resilience. He didn't see his failed attempts as failures, but as steps on the path to success. It's that mindset that makes the difference. Each mistake, each stumble, is a chance to learn and adjust. And when you look at things this way, it becomes much easier to move forward, even after failing. Now, son, I want you to understand that you don't have to be resilient alone. No one has to face everything by themselves. We build resilience in large part with the support of those around us. You have your family, your friends, people who love you and are always here to help. When things get tough, when you feel weighed down, don't hesitate to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of strength to recognize that sometimes we need a friend's shoulder, a word of encouragement. And one more thing, resilience is also built in the day-to-day, in the small things. It's not just in the big challenges that it appears. When you face a tough day at school or work and still get up the next day and keep trying, you are building resilience. When something doesn't go as planned and you adjust your course, you're practicing resilience. Every small decision to keep going, every choice not to give up, is strengthening this skill within you. Life, son, isn't a straight line. It has ups and downs, unexpected turns, and sometimes it seems like the path is full of stones. But it's precisely in those toughest parts that we grow, that we become stronger. And I assure you, you are stronger than you think. Sometimes you might not realize it right away, but over time you'll look back and see that the difficulties you overcame transformed you into a more prepared, more resilient person. Always remember that I'm here, that your mom is here, that we are all here to support you. Resilience doesn't mean doing everything alone, but rather counting on those who are by your side when you need it. We believe in you, in your ability to rise again, to face whatever life puts in your path. So, son, don't be afraid of the falls. They are part of the journey. What matters is what you do after each fall. And I know that you have within you the strength, the courage, and the resilience to get back up every time, stronger than before. You are capable of overcoming any obstacle that comes your way. And when you look back, you will see that each challenge was an opportunity for growth. I believe in you. And I know that with every step you take, even in the toughest moments, you will build a life full of learning, growth, and of course, a lot of resilience.